Hello, hello, hello. Everybody hear me? I think some are still connecting. Hi, Tanya, Justine, Rose, Nicole. Kelsey's here. Get everybody. There's one more on an iPhone. I don't know who you are. We even have a guest. She was possibly joining us from Malta, from Italy. So I wasn't quite sure if she'll make it, but I'm just gonna mute everybody. Good morning, everybody. I know some of you guys know. And yeah, we're gathered here today.
There's extra taco bowls.
We'll just gather here and kind of talk about a variety of different things with business and spirituality. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, there we go. So if you guys have questions throughout, just type them in.
There's more taco bowls if you want to have.
Type them in the comments, and we will go through a little presentation and spreadsheet. Okay, Nicole, driving home. Okay. I thought I heard somebody in the car. So I have a nice sunny spot in the house. Hopefully in the next bit, it's actually shining right in my face. Try to slide over a bit. We'll be good. Can't complain about the sun. It's so nice and energizing. Hey, yeah, I mean, lots of people that message me are here, so we'll just get started. I'm going to send out the recording too, and there's a few people that want that. So we'll just get started. My internet at the farm out here is a little bit choppy sometimes, so I'm going to try to talk not too rambly and slower so that it's clear. But if something's going on, just let me know. And sometimes it works a little bit better from my phone. So hopefully you guys catch everything I'm putting down. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so I kind of whipped this presentation up in the last few days, but the business and being in alignment with your offer and with what you want to work towards, and even if you're unsure of where to get started, you know, there's always something there that people love talking about, that they enjoy sharing, something that they know a lot about, that can be helping people, and then also an energy exchange of bringing in that profit for yourself. So about 8 years ago, I got into online business and learning and invested about $5,000 to $6,000 in trainings and stuff, which I'll explain a little bit more later. Got me in touch with some amazing people and amazing experiences. So building your business from the inside out, I just kind of put this together over the years with everything combined that I've found I learn. So connecting your passion with your lifestyle and how you want your schedule to be with your business. And of course, now with everything going on, like, you know, online business has been around for a long time, but sometimes even in just like say essential oil business or something. There's a lot of things to learn to make that business grow. So there is different skills in business that are important to learn. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in all these areas or excellent at all these areas, but everyone can pick and choose kind of which ways they want to execute their business, because they'll have stronger, be stronger in those areas on how to execute, like live video or writing, or how they share their goodies. So discovering the inner and outer skills necessary to get into alignment, stop wasting time, and just start to get clear on a plan and really simplify your daily tasks. All right, so a few little topics we'll cover. I'm just going to give a little brief background of kind of my energy following the heart story, and then we'll talk a little bit about money mindset, unsure of where to get started, what isn't working for you. We'll dive into your offer, and then a little bit about sales page information, affordable ways to just develop your own course or workshop easily for like $10 a month, how to connect it with your inner work. Of course, that's where the spirituality comes in. And of course, that's going to go into more Kundalini stuff and the power of our word and our energy, and spiritual tools for that rapid transition and transformation. So yeah, I can't wait to share all that. So okay, so I was living in Brandon when this kind of came about. So I always followed my heart and followed little signs from the universe, which I, even saving all that info, there's so many stories, but I know a lot of you know those little signs help you follow the truth. And then the more you choose that truth, it kind of gives you the answer after, of like, that reassurance of like, that was the right choice, or you followed your intuition. So massage therapy in Brandon for about 6 years. I came back from Asia and some yoga training, and I opened my first little studio. I remember it being February, and I was laying in bed and like depressed and just like, how else can I make this work? I mean, I have the key to the studio and nobody else is here to save me. Nobody else is going to do the work but me. Like, you have that full responsibility of like keeping those doors open and constantly running with ideas and all these things, right? So, and obviously people are on their phones, right? So where are they? People are on their phones. So that's an easy way to, get in front of people. However, there's a lot of the psychology behind the sharing and your business. But so I knew I needed business knowledge. And I kept saying I didn't want to really go to college to learn it, because I wanted to just continue my job in massage and yoga and could learn this on my own. So I wasn't really sure of where to get started. So I remember laying in bed that morning. It was like cold and -40, tired of the winter. And I entered in my email into this email that was like, work from home, make $5 grand a month, 10 grand a month, work from home. It's like, okay, this is always a scam, right? So that's our belief systems, and like our mind will just like go right away, like, nope, barriers up. We got to go back to doing what we normally do, right? So we hit that fear barrier sometimes. So I just entered my email. And so many choices come from taking that leap of faith and following your heart. And the universe will give you those clear signs, right? So something in me just knew, we'll just enter that. And I didn't really think anything of it for a long time after. So yeah, all that kind of continued work. It was May long weekend. And I remember the phone is ringing a few times. You kind of ignore like those 1-800 numbers or whatever. I think it's credit cards or this and that. So you kind of, I don't always answer them. But in the meantime, there was spider bites. I was getting spider bites like on my arm and my ankles. And there was spiders everywhere when I was outside raking the leaves. On the curtains in the yoga studio, I'd see like one or two spiders here and there climb up the sheer curtains. And my body talk instructor, you follow those little what do these things mean? And I mean, you don't have to dissect everything, but it was happening all the time. So I kind of tie that in with, she said, building your life's web. So spiders design, you know, their webs, they spin their webs, design all that. And I just answered this phone call one day and I was like, what if money's calling me? Like, what if this is money calling me? And I just laughed. And and I answered it and it was like, hey, this is Huey from Empowered Network and you signed up to work from home. And I was like, I did? You know, you're confused. Like, I did sign up to work from home. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So then he started to explain it and I really realized it was like the vehicle that I was looking for my business to jump in and like learn all these ways to execute. So that's kind of my little business side of the story, but it led me to connect with a bunch of people that were really executing themselves and have already got themselves to like higher digits in their business and higher figures, but they're huge mentors. They're positive. I got to stay in different mansions in Orlando and these places with them. And it was just being around those people that really opened my eyes to like how much our environment creates so much of our beliefs and our motivation to do these things, because even the mirroring neurons in the brain will affect what we do just with the people around us. So so that really just expanded my energy and awareness with things that were possible outside the massage room, because like what else do you do? You know what I mean? Like you just kind of go to work, do your regular stuff, but like we'll kind of get into the money versus time thing, but yeah, it was just like, I'm never really going to have any leverage here. So then, you know, introduced yoga, started to learn these things online, but they were even able to be applied in the brick and mortar business when I moved back to Yorkton too. So it's just kind of taking those steps that you know you need to take, and that's going to keep bringing you that awareness and that expansive energy to grow into, and you kind of become more open to receiving as you work through those money beliefs, your blueprint and all that. So yeah, and recognizing it doesn't show up all at once. So that's kind of also why I'm here, is like the 10K months and the 15K months are definitely possible. And I wouldn't want to share any of this if I didn't have some of that experience of, it started with $50 an hour to 60 to 75 with massage, but then is that the cap? Like physically you can only work so much. And even as yoga teachers, there's only so much we can do. And that applies to a lot of other careers out there. So money mindset. Money is an energy. How do you feel about money with the topic that's brought up? Even I'm going to share this too. So access consciousness. Some of you know access bars. It's the 32 points on the head. Is one of the techniques. But this book, How to Become Money workbook, I can share the link in the resource. They actually have like a course that you can work through the book along with them to write everything out and go through it and understand it. But everything from like, what does money taste like, money smell like, where do you feel money coming in? Is it coming in behind you? Is it coming in front of you, like in the future all the time, that it's never really present with you? Is it coming in from the sides? Or, you know, they say we want to or Gary in Access Bars, he says, you want to have money coming in from everywhere and have that feeling. So there's like the deeper work that as you sit through these exercises, you'll be able to really feel it and see it. And each area of where the money comes in has a different meaning too. So that's just an example of little exercises that you go into to really work on that. And even just a guy that I love, when I started out with stuff, Bob Proctor, he was huge, and just like his videos on YouTube just talking about paradigm shifts and why, like, even our family and stuff will hit that fear paradigm when we want to go outside of our comfort zone, because everything from like not wanting to make more money than your parents, not wanting to make more money than your spouse, or not sure if you can step outside that hourly job because of security and safety, right? So there's all of these belief things that we don't even know are there. So some of the questions that I post on my board is just, what is the future that you know is possible? And maybe that doesn't quite tie in with money, but what is that future that you know is possible? And it is an energy, right? So we have that energy, you can step into that expansiveness and just be that energy. So what do your mentors be like? How do they live? Somebody making 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, 10K months, 8K months, 5K months, whatever you are growing into at this time. And it's about leveling up too. So meeting yourself where you're at, and then working on that solution oriented actions. So yeah, we're going to go through here. I'm going to okay, so another question, another access clearing. What judgments do you have about having huge amounts of money that keeps you unwilling to create and choose it? So what judgments do you have about having huge amounts of money that keeps you unwilling to create and choose it? So it's kind of an energy comes up, and then in I'll teach you more about the tools. There's a clearing statement. It's really long and detailed, but we can clear those beliefs by asking more questions. So when we make a statement like, I can't do this because of whatever, the universe stops kind of assisting you in that space because you've made that statement like it can't happen. So you kind of, there's like a barrier that goes up. So when we live in the question of like, what else is possible? What else haven't I even considered to generate another income? That was a huge question in 2012 that I asked actually before this, the spider story, before I had that phone call. Yeah, what else haven't I considered to generate another income? So that question is huge because you don't necessarily need to know the answer, but as you're open to it, the universe starts to gravitate what matches you. So letting barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. Let's uncreate and destroy any projections and expectations you have of yourself and your future. So clearing all those expectations you have, any judgments you have of yourself. Another question, what can you choose today that would make you happy right away? And they say for every judgment that you receive, you make $500 more or $5,000 more a year. So this one I just put on the board. It came up in a access audio I was listening to. But yeah, for every judgment you receive, like say you feel judged by something out there, but you can kind of cancel that out, and it's like, that doesn't matter. That's just pulling me out of my center. So you just leave that energy. But yeah, they say that will kind of balance out and you'll kind of bring in more because you're stepping and staying in your power more. So I just put that one on my board. So that's something that I'm working on too. Like you never know, right? The judgments are in our own heads. So if we stop judging ourselves, then nobody else can really judge us because it automatically just doesn't matter, you know? So it's so powerful. Who does this belong to? So parents, my mom was always in my head as I started to purchase more things for business and make those choices for myself. And sometimes wanted her assurance or reassurance when I'm like, I'm gonna go to India, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna pay for all this, right? And the larger amounts of money and stuff. So, or buying something, do you really need that? Who does this belong to? So that energy also brings up something heavy that isn't ours. So we can send that back to the sender with consciousness attached to it, which is kind of another tool you can use. So money programming, your blueprint, it starts when you're really young. Definitely dive into Bob Proctor. And that's where even paradigm shifts. And then there's even just seeing yourself have some quantum leaps. So you don't almost notice it till later on, but those quantum leaps are like when you have like, start having like a $500 and $1,000 days, and then they start happening more because you're almost putting in the same energy to have that amount of a day or the same amount working hourly for something, right? So again, all of these little subjects I want to really dissect and dive into deeper in this course. I don't know if it's going to be really like a 4 or 6 week course yet. So this is just kind of a tester today, chatting with all you guys and getting feedback and really seeing, I want to know more about what you guys would need help with. So I kind of spread out this a little bit vague in some areas. Okay, so how do you feel when you think about money, when you purchase higher priced things, spending versus saving, and just paying attention to it? And then are you open to receive when others offer a tip or compliment? How do you receive it? You know, if someone denies a gift from somebody, that also is declining the energy of that person wanting to give you something. And then solving a problem for your ideal client. So here you get paid in direct proportion of serving the market or serving, like how you're helping people solve their pains or pleasures, right? As humans, we naturally tend to go for more pleasure-seeking things, but also like pain, like joint pain, arthritis, diseases, depression, anxiety, those things are pain. And you know, it just depends on where we're speaking to those people, which we'll talk about a little bit more too. Level up, be patient. And that was something I learned too. I always kind of used to wait to have the answers from somebody, but I just YouTube it, Google it. You'll like learn like how to build, what should I do for a landing page? What should I do for this? Just start to pick up things on your own too. Okay, so unsure where to get started. A few little things that kind of, you don't want to sit with them too long, really. It's acknowledging them, clearing them out, and then moving on to your solution-based action. So what's holding you back? Everything from like environment to what you're putting in your body, maybe procrastination, right? Or just clutter. Too many ideas, and then we'll even talk about ways like picking the top 2 or 3 things that you really like to talk about that's easier to get started and save the other ideas for later. What are you afraid of? Afraid of being wrong. There's a big thing with afraid of being wrong nowadays too, like you can't really share anything or you don't know what to share, so you're kind of like, ooh. But at the same time, like we're all just functioning from every bit of information that we're absorbing through our senses, right? So what isn't working for you? And two, like learning with the juice bar and the business, I knew I wasn't going to be an expert at it, but I knew I needed to try it. But I'm not a big manager of employees and stuff. Like I'm not good at that. And organization is not one of my finest things, but I spend a lot of time in my head. So coming down to organize things, and some of the courses I've taken really helped me just get clear on the message and people I wanted to work with. So I felt with the studio as an example of how I was trying to serve everybody, or massage can serve everybody. But then when it comes to marketing your message, you kind of you're all over the place. So what do you enjoy? Eliminate the things that you don't need, and then start to work on the areas that you enjoy. So massage example, I need to be there. So okay, so where was I going to go? Little glitch in my brain. So massage, I need to be there. And in order for me to shift online more, I had to make more time for that. So I couldn't keep doing the same schedule of massage and packing my days with all this stuff, because you wouldn't be able to carry out that online business properly either. So I had to start scheduling more of that time and holding the belief and expansion that I would fill those spots with people eventually, and income, because also you don't want to be at home just tidying and doing things that are not money producing activities. So getting into the focus of what's money producing activities, maybe that Instagram ad would bring in 20, 30, $50, or a sale. You know, there's bigger, higher priced products out there. And almost sharing or selling one higher priced item takes the same amount of energy as it does to sell a smaller priced item. So it's good to have a few different options for people too. And then working with it so it is balanced with your energy and what it, you know, if it aligns with you for the price too. Sometimes I bounce around a little bit with my own stuff. Okay, so what do you stand for? There's a bunch of questions here too that we can dive into in the course, doing a brain dump. So first off, writing out all your ideas for your business. And then the areas of expertise you have to talk about, what do you enjoy talking about, writing those things all down, and then really choosing 3. And then, so there's a lot of stuff that really goes with dissecting your message and clarity, and then kind of keeping it in your little sections like your branding stuff, right? So getting clear on that so you can kind of stay focused on the same thing. Say you just pick one idea or that area of expertise, write out all your ideas, and just focus on one, so that when you go to your technology side of it, then you're going to be clear, not just sitting on your autoresponder or your landing pages, unsure where to get started. So as you do the inner work and these little things, it helps you transition it to your pages a lot easier, so then it becomes quicker. Writing out your ideal client. So this really dives deep too. I mean, there's tons of information you can gather for their demographics, pains and pleasures, the problems that you can solve. And maybe there is those few beliefs that you really stand by that find really help people, like really stick with something that you feel emotionally passionate about. And sometimes it's those topics too that feel a little bit uncomfortable, that people might find, like the more raw and true we are, which sometimes is difficult to share some of those stories. And yeah, it just takes time. I'm working on that stuff too. The more you know your audience, the more you can speak to them. Adds your ad copy, which is where like the psychology and speaking and subconscious messages, even the words you use will hit the subconscious in a different way. The clarity on your brand message. So the more clear, the more it attracts those people that really want that stuff. So your brand, what's the message you want to share with the world? Kind of a bird's eye view of your schedule. So when I started to really take a look at how, or like see how, say like a 8-10K month, you bring in a few $1,000s more, $5,000 more than your regular job, how it's not going to be consistent all the time. So say like the 90-day wellness plan I created, I'm only going to run that or launch it twice a year, possibly right now. So, okay, so I have to give myself that year of 2 chunks of 90 days. And then in the middle of those ones, you can have some smaller courses launched. which take a little bit shorter time to launch them, but then really preparing 90 to 60 days before a bigger course and marketing it that way. So definitely COVID's changed a lot of things. And so, yeah, like I'm in a cycle of relaxing a little bit more. My stomach aches went away, really allowing myself to like reverse the stress on my body, like the digestive system and all the to-do lists. And it was like, that's not working anymore. And I want to be present with my clients. I don't want to be in the headspace of all over the place when there's people coming in to engage. So that wasn't working for me. And I, wanted to, even thinking of, instead of miles wide and inches deep, you go miles deep and inches wide, and you just contain your energy in that space, right? So you just keep building a deeper foundation. So you can lay out your launches really how you want your life to be. Like, think of your year. How do you want those to look like? And I know some of you are really good at organizing and already on that stuff. So something I found amazingly interesting during COVID too, working in cycles and honoring your natural rhythm with your period, your moon cycle, and the moon. So I don't know if anybody's feeling more inspired the last few days. That full moon is bringing you into like learning more and wanting to really, it'll almost be like more light is shed on your, what you want to share. And then as you go into, and sometimes the period can be opposite or switches with the cycles of the moon. So the darker time is like the new moon would be like admin stuff, really planting new seeds, clearing out what isn't working, and even harvesting the rewards from your full moon time. So the full moon in business ways would be like closing your cart or closing your sales kind of after the full moon energy, because it's peaking. So yeah, we'll dive a little bit deeper into that stuff too, but it's almost like you have to start implementing it with those patterns and just see for yourself, kind of play around with how people respond to what you're putting out there at those times, right? So yeah, it's interesting. And then honoring your body, because you're only going to be able to be on so much, right? Some ideas for content to switching it up, educate, inspire, sharing your stories different ways, authority building, and then selling and sharing. Gary Vaynerchuk has a book, Jab, Jab, Right Hook, or Jab, 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 Right Hook. I didn't actually read it. I gave it to Sean's son, but basically like share, 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 and then a sell kind of thing. Like, I don't like to really talk about the word or say the word selling, but it is an energy exchange, when it's about them more so than the sale, or the energy exchange is more natural in there. But when it comes from an energy space of like, I've had a slow week and I'm not sure I'm going to have a sale, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the income this week, then the energy doesn't even flow back that same way. So it doesn't feel the same on both ends. Where are we at for time? So I haven't checked. I don't know if anyone has questions. Sorry, I kind of have you guys in a little tiny screen here. Check them right away. Okay, so I'm going to jump into sales and landing pages. And there is like a lot more description too, to like going over all these little areas I have on the left hand side, the anatomy of your sales page, and then what your freebie in exchange for their email can be on a landing page, cart, checkout, welcome emails, giving a 3-video little mini series away in an email sequence. So sales copy so a sales page would be somewhere where you send somebody for like one of your offers, or something that you'd market on, say, like even your email list or Facebook ads. And then you go into more targeted Facebook ads for your specific audience. And those landing pages, of course, can be something that just gives a free meditation away, or a free ebook on like alkaline water, right? Essential oils, and then it's like a 10-page thing or a little video, and then you collect and build your email list that way. So I'm not sure if everyone or people have email lists right now. I use MailChimp. I used to use Aweber, which was like kind of ancient, so I don't know what it looks like now. But MailChimp was just easy for me to get started, and it was like $9.99 a month. I think it's like $12 now. So I started reading things about sales copy, and Marie Forleo, she has like, Marie, I think that's how you say her name, Marie Forleo. She's awesome, and she has different ad copy like courses you can take. I think they're a little bit higher priced, definitely, but yeah, she's really good with, if you really want to dive into like the psychology of writing and speaking to people, that's really good. I have a couple of resources I will have to dig out here for ad copy, but yeah, it's an interesting topic to learn about, but that's important to have. Like, the more you dissect your message, your client, then that's where you get your sales copy from. Your bio that relates to your topic of how you kind of connected or grew into that area, your photos and graphics, your payment links, questions clients usually ask, testimonials from other people. Sometimes people have extra bonuses or other offers to add in there, like get this for an extra $20 today, or an extra $60 or something. And then of course it goes to like filling out their information and application. If there's a deadline or a timer, you know, people add that in. So thinking of things that you enter your email into too, and what are the steps that got you interested in doing that. So then, and then start doing that too. You know, so you follow that, you got their email, and I always enter my email. I have way too much spam emails, but learning what they do in their back office too is like something interesting. Of when I catch myself really reading an email, like they have good ad copy set up, or they're a good writer, they practice that. So building a list is important. Stay connected. I don't email like regularly, maybe a couple times a month. Sometimes I feel like I should do it more, but also, again, like things get time consuming. So that's where you can batch your content and just sit down and write maybe one email for each week, time it out, or time out your Friday sales and have those 3 emails set up, doing them all at once, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go on to just something really simple that I did for my 40-day meditation. It was more affordable for me at the time. MailChimp I used, I built a landing page, made it kind of into, to collect people's emails that were interested in that thing, as I did targeted ads on Facebook. And changing the image, changing the body of the ad and the tagline and all that stuff. And then created that landing page on MailChimp. They have that option on there. You link it into the email list specifically for that. And then I actually just set up the daily emails in an automated email system. So I didn't have a course program at the time, like Kajabi I switched over to now, because I wanted to build a bigger program for people to like check off and go through all the courses like accessible a lot easier. So yeah, at first I just did it easily. I just made 40 different emails, and then they timed out every single day automatically. So that's an easy way to just build a course. Maybe it's like a 5-day thing and you want to have that email go out each day. And eventually when when you find like a program, Teachable or Kajabi or something that works for you, then you can start transitioning your information into there. So, you know, everybody will definitely be in a different spot. So, and I know everybody, not everybody, but everyone, and lots of people love that personal development stuff. So I'm sure you guys are book readers too. The numbers, time versus money thing. So that's something I did when I left for Mexico, kind of just quit my day job and tried to build my business online, and still things worked. And I had a couple yoga retreats while I was there. But yeah, I was just doing enough work, massage, online work to pay the bills, but not technically support enough of the advertising that the online business needed. So yeah, 9 to 5 pays the bills. Before and after those hours was kind of where they talk about spending your extra time doing things, because there's extra time, but the more clear we are, the easier we can just sit down and do the work. Becomes more enjoyable. You love who you're gathering, people that you work with. And two, like even having a higher priced course doesn't mean that everyone's going to be a good match for it. Like sometimes I'd recommend something for a client that will just be better for where they're at, you know. Doing what most people won't so that you can live the life like most people can't. I did spend a lot of time grinding, like over too much, I felt like. So now I think COVID's that blessing in disguise. I don't like to say that word, but really just bringing things back full circle too. And like, I'm sure a lot of you are maybe having that remapping your ideas, and maybe plan B is kind of coming in there a little bit more. So even just something simple, $50 product or workshop, you need 20 customers for $1,000, 200 customers for a 10K month. If you have a bigger price product, 4 customers at like $250 for $1,000, 40 customers at $250 for $10,000. So that, I'm just kind of laying that out. I'm sure lots of you have seen this already. $1,000 course, 1 customer, and then 10 customers, right? So doing the work for 20 people for $1,000, or 4 people, or 1 person. So it's kind of shifting yourself into those stages, because it can be uncomfortable to receive larger priced items. And if you're struggling with like, is it good enough, or am I good enough? Are people even gonna like it? Maybe I should just give it away for free. You know, like we do go through all those mental things. So spiritual connection. So emotion creates motion. That's when you get inspired, and you're listening to music. I know driving to town, I kind of channel ideas and energy and see things pretty vividly. But I did what was it? Women Who Run with the Wolves. And I just was driving to town. I had this like vision, the awesome song was playing, and I just got super emotional, and like I could see all these ladies sitting in a circle, and we were chatting about this, and it just kind of crystallized in my body. So that emotion and inspiration and energy, that when you can really get in touch with it, is definitely going to crystallize and manifest that vision a lot quicker. So that internal vibe, that's where practices, your meditation and doing the physical work, moving the body. I'm going to share a little bit more about chanting and the meditations too. They're keys to unlock your potential and clear away the limiting thoughts and beliefs. So, of course, like people talk about imposter syndrome and no comparison, no envy, jealousy, those kind of low vibes. There's always enough for everybody, right? And like attracts like, learning and just working on you in all areas. So you'll take people further the more you're working on yourself and jumping at opportunities and having different experiences. So this is a tool from Access Bars as well. I didn't apply it all the time, but I just kind of came back to it and used it a few times in the last 6 months or so. So you, of course, the asking you receive, right? Law of attraction. If you don't know Esther and Jerry Hicks, YouTube them, listen to them. They're super awesome. You'll find kind of what you need those days at the right time, I think, too. So asking, of course, asking for it and then sending it out. So if you're doing a workshop, you can push the energy. So there's a meditation I do. I just push the energy out like Post-its and just allow them to float out to clients or people that need the energy, and really just get in touch with the emotional part of it and seeing it happen. And then you draw it all back in through your belly, through your solar plexus, and allow those Post-its or little magical sprinkles to go out your back. And then it will just settle again where it needs to go. So you can kind of push this energy out a couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks before the program or before your workshop. Maybe you have a different service you're going to offer, whatever. So pushing that out, asking for what you desire, and then detaching from those goals, right? So just continue on, do the work, completely detach. Not spending time like dwelling on why isn't it happening faster? Where is it coming in? And that's where living in the question is giving the universe an opportunity to like show you something you haven't considered. So detaching after you do the work and make the decisions, then you be open to receive it. This is where access comes in, and just kind of talked about that. And yeah, definitely see miracles happen for sure. So try to stay in those questions. And then the last 1 to 2 weeks, pulling that energy in. So you push it out, and then closer to the start of the date or a couple weeks before, you pull that energy back in and just imagine those right people showing up. So Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga. Basically, I mean, I was introduced to it about 10 years ago in Brandon at the studio. I always taught Hatha, slow flow, holding the poses longer. But I ended up doing a 6-hour workshop on Kundalini, and we just did Kundalini for 6 hours straight. And you just feel so clean and pure and like open channel and like light as a feather, almost like you wouldn't want to put any bad things in your body. But I was a person that didn't like to share my voice. And even like as a kid, like arguing with my parents or whatever, like I was more shy and like reserved. And even singing was something that like I would never do, which I don't do now. But using the mantras, I think of them more as just a drum, like you're drumming the tongue on the roof of your mouth. So Kundalini Yoga is a technology that basically is developed into the Aquarian age for this time, because of the way our technology is, like with the Wi-Fi, with our computers, and with the world. So anxiety, we see like depression, we see endocrine imbalances, we see so many different types of illnesses kind of going on. Obviously, like our food is huge and stuff, but all these things affect our hormone balance and our nervous system. So if we have strong nerves, we have strong life, strong willpower, strong that caliber. So this was something that I found cleared away like my negative thoughts or like my anxieties. And they say when you do yoga in the morning or practice the chanting. And there's a reason why the chanting is more powerful. But all our anxieties are created at a certain time of the day. So like say something happened like 10 years ago, it's going to start to bring up that energy at different times of the day. So doing it in the morning, like early in the morning, the chanting from the yoga, like the vibration of your voice. The mantra brings up the powerful energy, but then as you chant it and use your voice as the sound, it kind of strikes those negative ions from your thoughts and splits them into two positive ones. So it's actually happening on an atomical level, a level that you're connected to the universe, and it starts to shift the secretions in your higher glands. So, you know, I mean, I sometimes wear a head wrap because it feels better. It tightens the pressure on the skull. And I'll even wear it to focus on computer work because it just like keeps the thoughts protected and the crown of your head. So it's really sensitive. But, and then like the Sikh gurus have their religious meanings, but your hair is also an extension of your nervous system. So so yeah, that it just goes so deep, and the more you chant, the more you use that energy, it helps to repattern the brain, the nervous system, and rewire. So I mean, I'm obsessed with it a little bit sometimes, but I just want to share more of that Kundalini so people can really not live with that mental chatter that's keeping them back, and see how even I'm going to share just a few meditations can like tap you into like your true self and really get you doing the things that you need to do to execute your truth. Okay, so there's about 10 minutes, so we're almost wrapping up here. So opportunities are seen with the mind and not the eyes. And I usually like, because you can create so much more than what's there, right? You can make something out of nothing. You can really change that. So this Kundalini technology is always accessible to us. So the Piscean age was when we gathered information. So the information was just stored and gathered in like databases, you know, from the textbooks put onto the internet. And now we've gone to having it at our fingertips. So yeah, there's this energy, the DNA, our universe is really upgrading. And as we upgrade, this Kundalini technology prevents you from illness, like hormonal fatigue conditions, all that kind of stuff. So Yogi Bhajan talks about how the chanting will protect you at a cellular level. So like from radiation, you're protected because your nerves are stronger than having all these electromagnetic frequencies affect us. So, you know, and it dives a lot deeper than just EMF stuff, but your thoughts are those subtle energies too. So those really fear can be pretty toxic, you know, those emotions are toxic. So Kundalini yoga brought me to my knees. It's made me cry so many times and shake and just like anger. I wanted to just leave the yoga class one day when I started right nostril breathing. It's like your fire breath, your you know, those anger comes out, but it just, I was like, oh my gosh, like you have to sit with your mind, but the energy that yoga brings it up so fast. So that's why it works faster than hatha yoga. But something simple here, like inner conflict resolver. So this one, if your prana is scattered or disturbed, which is your life force, your breath through the body, that layer of one of your bodies, this is when the fibers of the pranic body rechannel themselves to create a strategy to prepare the body and mind to work effectively. So when you bring your hands to your chest, the fingers will face each other and the thumbs are up. So you inhale strong and deep for 5 seconds. And exhale for 5. All the way out. And then you're going to hold for 15 seconds. Then inhale for 5. Exhale 5. Hold out for 15. Do one more time. And then take a deep breath in. Suspend your breath. And exhale. So even just shifting the pattern of your breath will unlock the locked brain. So shifting those patterns. So that's a really awesome one for internal blocks. And then, oh, I ended up just typing one of the mantras on here, but maybe this one is just the best one for you guys today. So the Kundalini Laya Yoga mantra. You can find it on YouTube or Spotify. Some of the Kundalini music can be a little cheesy, so you've got to find the right vibe for you, but it is really healing. Even if you're not into chanting them at first and you feel a little bit uncomfortable, that just means there's some chakras imbalanced. But listen to the mantras, and some days I would just break down in the kitchen because like the mantra was just like healing on a level that I didn't even know. And that's where we start to level up. And I kind of found it was like a supported my energy in ways that I didn't really know. And then when I learned the meanings of them, it kind of really matched the areas I was in my life. So they came to me at a specific time too. So this one I wrote, this helps you get shit done. Here it is. Okay, so this one suspends you above conflicts attracted by success and the activity of the positive mind. It lets your activities serve your purpose. It makes you creative, focused on your real priorities, and helps you sacrifice what is needed to accomplish them. So it fixes your energy on your essence and the higher consciousness without normal distractions and attachments, having power over your reactive awareness. So yeah, it just really keeps those distractions out. So they call it a spiral, like an 8-limb, and a Ashtanga mantra, I guess, which is irrelevant right now, but it spirals up through the body. So the Kundalini comes from the base of the spine or a little bit higher, like L4. And then it works up to the higher glands. So the mantra goes like this: Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Wahe Guru. So Ek Onkara, you draw the navel in. Ek Onkara Satanama Siri Wahe Guru. And as you start to get into the music, I would do it with music, it's a little bit better. You will see, just think of it as like drumming with the tongue, with the mouth. So you're strumming the roof of the mouth. It's like a piano. It sends the frequency back through the body, through the cells, from the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the pineal gland. And I mean, that's just how all the mantras work, but they all mean different things. So I'll use different mantras for different things. There's ones, even Har Hare Hari. Har Hare Hari is one for abundance and prosperity. So there's different ways your prayers can be answered. Okay, so a few little resources that could work for you guys, or you could explore. Autoresponders. Again, I haven't used many of these, just Aweber and MailChimp. But there's ConvertKit, GetResponse is a big one that people use, and then I haven't really heard of Klaviyo and a couple other ones. So something for surveys that you can add into your business, SurveyMonkey. Then bit.ly is a good website for shortening your links. Like if you have really long links for stuff, just enter your link into there and it'll just give you like a really tiny link, so it doesn't look all crazy. Kajabi I started using for courses, and in the process of moving my autoresponder, like all my email lists into Kajabi, because it's all together. So then I'm gonna eventually get rid of MailChimp. Teachable is another course, a thing that people use to build courses, and there's a bunch more platforms that you can use. Fiverr is something that I used to use a lot. If you go to fiverr.com, you can really have anything done for you for quite a bit cheaper than what it would normally cost. Like I used to have graphics done for like $5 or $10, but you have to try a few people, and sometimes if they don't really know what you want, so you can explore and try things out with that. Something that's changed my life though for marketing is Canva. You can create so many beautiful graphics and things for your brand and stick with the same colors. Helps me because I'm not organized. And then the tech side of it, like I can't design things on Word and be satisfied with stuff anymore. Like a long time ago, I was just Word document, that's it. But then I built my own website, and it was like under the hood of a car. However, Kajabi literally does it all for you. Like there's no messing around. Like drag and drop your stuff in. So it's worth it for the convenience. Canva, really nice for a lot of everything. Etsy brand images, I had some brand images done, but you can, yeah, I don't really use Etsy, but should explore that more for local business support. Then your Zoom, of course, Webinar Jam, and lots of people use Linktree. Easy, if you don't have a website too, you can pop all of your other business links into Linktree so that your clients can go to access your cart, like a little PayPal link or pay out for a course. Easier than, yeah, sometimes I know even when I have an idea, I'll pop it up on the internet quick without having an automated thing set up for their email and then an easy link for payout, which then doesn't even really bring in it, like it doesn't have the same results because it's not set up conveniently at people's fingertips, right? The easier it is for them to buy it or grab it is works a lot better. Video marketing tool. So that's something I'm not a strong suit in, is like hopping on a Insta story or like doing lives, like usually because I'm in my pajamas half the day and doing walk the dogs in my boots, and I just, whatever, I guess I need to be more confident and just having messy hair and drinking my coffee in my plaid house coat. But so yeah, there's things in my life that I want to work on to help me be better at sharing on the spot, but I am a bit better at planning my webinars or my yoga classes. So I feel I'm going to just stick with what's working for me in those areas, and then once I'm clear, organized in all the systems and the back end setup, so it's easy for my clients to access stuff, then I'm going to start to branch into like strengthening on the little areas I'm not good at, which is a little bit more the video stuff. So I did start a YouTube channel a long time ago. There's not a ton of stuff on there, but again, Video Ranking Club, I know the guy, Benjamin Jakes, who I got this course from too, which is like a crap ton of content in there. How to dissect your videos and really get into like keywords and ranking your videos on Google searches and YouTube. So say you have like, he gave me a list of 100 keywords, but all of these keywords really are similar, but then it's what people type up, like how to lose weight quickly, how does Isagenix work, or what's the best essential oil for anxiety, right? So those keywords are where your stuff can pop up first. So there's a lot of cool stuff out there for yeah, just like the psychology of sales is something that I want to dive a little more deeper into the course. I have a bunch of words that I got from courses I took, so you can kind of play around with them in your marketing. More spiritual practices, and then I know when I made the first post, it was more about 80-20 principle, diving deeper into your why. There's some activation codes, and then myths and mistakes. So busting more myths of like things that like it's not get rich quick. But I've been around those people like AWOL, Empower Network. AWOL, like the guys that still do stuff, Cameron George, Dakota McLaren, he lives in Colombia right now, but they're like, they just live their life, another way of life, like living around the world. So guys that I hung out with, and I know that it's possible. And one of my friends, Matthew Jang, he was like construction worker in BC, and now he's like living in Kelowna and probably doing 6 figures a month. Like, so it's possible for so much to happen, right? So it's like wherever we set that bar for ourselves, but it's not an overnight thing either. So yeah, being patient with it, getting clear, trusting the process, and yeah, there's always more work to be put in. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, chat. I'm gonna just check the questions. I'm gonna pop over to, I have yoga class right away, 12:15. If anybody feels like doing a Kundalini class for elevation. Nicole said, I love shifting out of linear living and into cycle living. So glad you mentioned this. Yeah, it's definitely something that's changed like my patience and being scattered and feeling like I have to be organized all the time, follow the same routine every day. So it just allowed me to spread my schedule out more realistically too. Did you share the mantra meditation in the 40-day? Leia Yoga, I'm pretty sure it's in there. Pretty sure, but I can send it. I can message everyone with that song. Do you want the song or just the instruction? We can be in touch. If anyone has more questions, just message me, Instagram. Thanks everybody so much for joining. Yeah, I mean, I know lots of you guys know a bunch of this stuff too, but yeah, so if, I mean, you can give me some feedback if you learned anything, if there's things that you want to know more about. Yeah, I'm really just working on dissecting this course and would rather love to steer it in more of a way that people need help with. One of the gals said, really figuring out what she wants to offer first and getting over limiting beliefs. So yeah, when we put those little spiritual practices into play, like people even use orgasm to manifest things. And yeah, so it's so awesome. And with that, boom, have an awesome day, ladies. Thanks, Kelsey, Justine, Nicole, Tanya, an iPhone person. I don't know who you are, but you can message me too. Yeah, questions, let me know. And thanks everybody for listening. And it was just kind of a winging it topic. Well, not topic, but yeah, you know, first time kind of getting this going. So thanks so much. Bye guys. Hopping over to yoga. So